This is the Team Sky Mechanics truck. Now, a lot has been spoken about this in the past. Let's go see for ourselves just what is it that makes this so special. So we're inside the mechanics bit of the truck, back here. As you can see, there's two work stands here. So for two mechanics, that's Gary there in the background. Now, it won't have escaped your notice that there's a serious amount of Pinarellos in here. There's actually 27 bikes in all, just in this truck. There's also a huge amount of wheels, various different types. They've got Shimano C50s, C35s, C24s at their disposal. There's also a very small stash of C75s at the back. Now, we've heard there's only 5 pairs, and that's because essentially they're for Bernie Eisel, or anyone else who wants them, but it's mainly Bernie Eisel. Now, elsewhere in the truck, we come up to the front. We've got all the spares here. There's only a small selection of tubs. I'm actually told they take 90 tubs with them. It's probably likely that Chris Froome will have a new pair of tyres for every single stage, just in case there's any cuts on there. So it's unlikely they'll get 90 punctures. That'd be a pretty unfortunate tour, but there are 90 spare tubs. Also in here, they've got spare handlebars, spare chain rings, stems, everything. Now, there's also another 8 group sets on here, so they can build up 8 spare bikes if they need to. But critically, they're never going to run out because team sponsors like Shimano will always be on hand to top them up. So if they have a crash and there are any broken derailleurs or any shifters, Shimano are there in an instant to top them up. One of the more surprising things we found in this truck is the stem drawer. This is quite an impressive bit of kit, but the closer you look, the more impressive it gets. There is a stem in here for every millimetre. 123, 122, 124, 126. I can't find a 125. The guys here know to the millimetre about their stem length. I've never seen that before. I'm seriously impressed. So there's 27 bikes in here. That's obviously 1 race bike and 2 spares for each of the riders. But there are no TT bikes in here, as you've noticed, and there's nothing for the cobbled stages. So there's another 18 TT bikes waiting back at the service course, and they can be delivered purely for that stage. They don't have to be carried around France. Equally, there are 18 spare bikes for the cobbled stage, and they're at the service course as well, so they can be brought in for that stage specifically. Now, the other thing you might notice about in here, although it's quite cramped right now with us in here as well, is that actually this is a really spacious truck. There are no other teams really that get to work on the bikes inside the truck, and that's because there's a seriously cool space-saving measure where both sides of the truck actually move outwards, allowing the mechanics to work inside in the dry, no matter what the weather. So they can either have the heater on or the aircon on, so potentially these guys will be out here for much longer, taking their time and in comfort. Now, just back here in the final corner, one of the things caught our attention is the stack of cassettes that are up here. So there's gear selection for any eventuality. Finally as well, we've got the air compressor, so that those 90 tubulars don't have to get pumped up by hand. But that is only part of it. Come on around and follow me. Now, it never escapes our attention, but cleanliness seems to be a big thing with pro cycling teams. Team Sky is no exception. They've even got their own Hoover that travels on the mechanics truck, not to mention all the other cleaning kit. Just like the back of the truck, this also gets a little bit extended, so we've got all the team wet bags just down here, so the riders don't need to think about it. It's the Swan Years duty. That's a nice touch. Then up here, you can see there's a washer and a dryer. That'll be for all the team kit. There'll also be one in the team bus as well, and then all the water bottles and things. So this is where they can do all the preparation. That is actually not an ironing board, it's just a table. Is that an ironing board? I'm not really familiar with those.